Hey everybody, today we're gonna do a commentary on a solo full clear Helldive, no death with the crossbow on the bots. I know a lot of people have been saying the crossbow sucks from the new Warborn. I think it's okay, I think it's, underrated. I don't think it's amazing or the best weapon ever, but I think it's pretty good against the bots. So here for the build I use the airstrike, the laser, the AMR, so the sniper, and the supply pack. I also use a light armor. Heavy armor is really good, but I find that when I'm going solo for full clear, the time is very short. I always finish before the end of the timer. So the light armor makes me faster, so it's very beneficial. So as soon as I spawn, what I want to do is I look at the map, I try to find as many or all the side mission, and when I land, I make a route of where I'm gonna go. Basically where I'm gonna go from and to and all of that. And I try to proc a bot drop in the opposite direction from where I'm going. So here I decide to go clockwise, so I proc a bot drop in the small base north. So that way when the bot drop spawns, I can start running in the opposite direction and basically skip the first bot drop. But here, as I turn around, and the bot drop should be arriving pretty soon, as I turn around, I noticed that there is a walker, sort of a factory strider. I really love fighting those bots, so I could skip it, I could just run away. I think it's safer to just kill it because if it sees you and you're far away, it's very dangerous. But the first thing you want to do with those enemies is to shoot the front turrets, the front miniguns. Those do a ton of damage, but once you shoot the front miniguns, if you're close to the strider, it's basically harmless. You can't do anything besides spawning some devastators. So here I deal with the devastators, and I always keep an eye on my back. I know there was a bot drop. I don't think they've seen me, but just to be safe, I always check my back. And if you're close to the strider and it doesn't have any minigun, you can safely shoot the barrel. So with the sniper, it's about 2 clips, and you can see that it's a pretty easy strider to take out. The only danger with the striders is if they're far away, because the turret can kill you. If they still have their minigun, they are very deadly, and if there's a lot of enemies around them. Because if you can't get close and they live for a long time, they're gonna spawn more and more devastators. It's very dangerous. Whenever you see a turret, you want to take it out as soon as possible. They're very dangerous if you haven't seen them and they spot you in the distance. Sometimes you just get one shot out of nowhere without even seeing the turret. So if you have a chance to kill them, just do it, so you don't have to deal with them later. Alright, so in the distance I see a gunship nest or factory. It's very similar to the Shrieker's nest for the bugs. They're pretty dangerous if you get close and you let them spawn. They can take you out very quickly, and if you have bot drops or patrols coming at the same time, it can get out of hand really quickly. So here I know I had a bot drop pretty recently, so I know I'm not gonna have a bot drop for a little while. So I decide to push as hard as I can to take it out immediately. I don't want to have a bot drop and the gunship at the same time. So I see there's only a few ads. I try to take them out quickly. The turrets are very deadly, so I attack them first. The AMR is pretty good for the striders. It's a 2-shot to the front plate. Pretty fast way to take them out from a distance. And here I see that almost all the ads are dead. So I decide to call the Hellbomb. Should be it looks like it's a pretty easy gunship. One good thing about the crossbow, take out the striders in one hit. It's not the only weapon that can do it, notably the strider, so not the strider, the sculpture, I think the Dominator can do it. There's a few weapons that can do it, but the fact that the crossbow can do it also, it's a good point for the weapon. So for the gunships, 4 shots with the AMR is a kill. The AMR is not as good as the autocannon for the dropship, but it's pretty good. So here I know I'm due for a bot drop. I'm pretty sure the cooldown for the reinforcement is reset. I see a patrol coming towards me. There's not a lot of enemies here. It's a pretty open area with cover, so I decide to engage them and hopefully get a bot drop. So I get rid of the bot drop now, and I can safely do the next objectives. Okay, the AMR, very strong weapon for the Devastators. If you hit the head, it's a 1-shot, and if you don't hit the head, it's a 2 or 3 shots. So no matter if you hit the head or not, very strong weapon. When the heavy Devastators are close, I like to use a stun grenade, because if you're close to them, and if you did the Helldive before, you can easily die instantly from their damage, or you can get flinched like really hard. Here you can see one of the big strengths of the crossbow is the AoE. It takes out the small adds in a pretty big radius instantly. So the biggest strength, I would say, is taking out the bot drops. You'll see me doing it many times during this gameplay. If you shoot the bot drop as they come down or in the ship, you're gonna clear all the small adds, all the tier 1 and tier 2s in a couple shots very easily. Again, it's not the only weapon that can do it. Notably, the Eruptor can do that. But the crossbow is a lot faster, better handling, so different gameplay, different people will like the crossbow better, people will like the Eruptor better. For me, I enjoy using the crossbow more, and definitely one of its strongest aspects is taking care of the bot drops. So we talked about one advantage of the crossbow. Obviously, one of the big drawbacks is the drop of the arrow. Okay, it can be a bit difficult to take out a single unit depending on how you're located, how you're positioned. If they're above you, if they're higher than you, it can be very difficult if they're far away to aim at a single target. So that's why I use my sniper. If I want to take out one target, my sniper or my secondary weapon, and I only use the crossbow when there's a cluster of enemies. Okay, for a single target, I will rarely use the crossbow. I think it's a bit too inconvenient just for one target. But yeah, and here you can see the stun grenade and the sniper very good against the Devastators. You can just stun them and then take your time to land the headshot, and that's a one tap. Okay, so here I'm gonna be here for a while because the tower, the radar station is pretty long. And because it is pretty long, and I see that I won't have to close a factory for a while, there's no factory nearby, I decided to put my Eagle airstrikes on cooldown. Okay, so that when I have to close a factory, I have them off cooldown. So the radar station takes a while. As it takes a while, I always have the map open. So if a patrol spawns near me, I know where they come from and I don't get surprised. And here I get lucky. I don't have to move the tower, it's already in a good position. In the back of my head, I always try to remember when was the last bot drop, and I know it was quite a while back, so I know the next group of enemies that I fight most likely is gonna call for a bot drop. Now when you get to the main objective, usually you have the main group of enemies on the points, and around the points you have 2 or 3 independent group of enemies. So here I target the small group on the left, because if they call a bot drop, I know I'm gonna have to fight them first, and the main group should not see me, or at least should leave me alone for a little while. So you see here, because I target the small group, they call for a bot drop, but the main group on the point is not attacking me just yet. And here again, the ship is coming here, and you see the crossbow just clears all the small adds. So I clear completely the first ship, I clear half of the second ship, and those 3 berserkers, they just take 2 or 3 shots of the crossbow to die. And the good thing is, if I use a sniper, yes, I can kill those enemies faster, but if it's a cluster of berserker, it's faster to kill them with the crossbow because they will all die at the same time from 2 or 3 shots. So sniper very good against the Devastators. You can see if I land a headshot, it's a one tap, so it's very efficient. Unlike the autocannon where you can land a headshot, but it's much more difficult. So here I just had a bot drop, so I know they're not gonna call for one for a little bit. So I take my time clearing the base. I always try to look for patrols. Yeah, the heavy Devastators are very scary. Yeah, the flinch is pretty insane on those enemies, so you want to try to shoot during the break that they have. And here I see a Flaming Hawk, so immediately I stun him, and that's my first target because the fire, I mean the flamethrower that they have is just a one shot, so it's very scary. And again, when there's a cluster of heavy devastators, I just stun them because they up close they are very scary. Not only can they flinch lock you so you can't do anything, but they also kill you almost instantly. So yeah, I'm curious to see what you guys think about the crossbow. For me, I like it, it's pretty fun. The only drawback really, I wish they would change, is the self-damage is just absurdly high. I mean, even if you have a heavy armor, if you shoot anywhere close to you, you just die instantly. I think that's the only weapon that straight up one-shots you. I mean, even the Sculpture, I mean, unless you really shoot like at your feet with the Sculpture, you're not gonna kill yourself in one hit, especially if you have heavy armor. But with the crossbow, unless you have heavy armor with the explosive defense, like the 50% resistance to explosions, you're gonna kill yourself. And that's a huge issue because when you get flinched, unlike most weapons, when you get flinched, the reticle goes towards the ground. So if you shoot a robot and they shoot you back and you get flinched, you're gonna kill yourself because you're gonna shoot and be flinched towards the ground, and you're gonna shoot the ground at your feet. And I think that's actually one of the biggest issues with the weapon. That's how I died the most when I was trying to get those no death full clear. Is I was shooting at bots with the crossbow, and some random, little robots, a tier 1 enemy, would shoot me once, I would flinch, shoot the ground, kill myself. Extremely infuriating. I don't know why it one-shots you. I mean, I know it's an explosive weapon, but I don't think the Riptor one-shots you unless you're shooting at your feet. Most explosive weapons don't, so I don't know why this crossbow does. And it's, if they change that, that would be, I think, a lot more usable. But for me, that's the biggest weakness of the weapon. I think that's the super simple rock. Yeah, it is. I'm capped on super simple, so I don't have to pick them up. But I decided to do it anyway because I know if I don't, people are gonna get mad at me. So I just do it anyway, and it's a habit. So I usually do it. So again, here I try to take the high ground. I wait for the bot drop, and the crossbow just clears. As long as it's tier 1 and tier 2, so like the small bots or the berserkers, the crossbow just clears clusters really well. Biggest strength for the weapon. So in the distance, I see there is a detector tower. Those are very scary, and I keep my laser for the detector tower. The laser is not as good as the 500 kg for this objective. The 500 kg, if you land it on the tower, is gonna kill it 100%. The laser, if it decides, even if you put it on the tower, if it decides to target a random robot next to the tower, it's not gonna get it. Okay, so it's a bit inconsistent in getting this objective. And here I don't remember if I get it with the laser, but my plan, at least my goal, is to keep the laser, the first laser, for the detector tower. So here I'm a little bit of a pickle. I know I'm not gonna have a bot drop, but even then I have a bunch of patrols coming in from all directions, from the right, from the left. So I'm not feeling very confident, and I decided to leave because the position I was in, I was getting pincered. There was enemies from the left, the right. It was getting too dangerous. So I decided to try a different angle. You usually don't want to have to fight on two fronts at the same time. It's better to leave if you have to fight on the left and the right. Yeah, and here you see I can't really find a good angle. Everywhere I go, there is a bunch of devastators, so I decided to kill them because at this point I don't really know where to go without having to deal with them. The sniper, luckily, is pretty good at taking them out from a distance. Okay, here I see a Hulk. It's pretty far, so I try to take it out without a stun, which I can. Okay, and I constantly, I don't know if you noticed, but I constantly check my radar to see if it's safe to move forward. Here I see there's no enemies beside on the base. I see two bases side by side, so if I use an airstrike, it should clear both of them, which it does. And perfect placement. There you go. You'll notice that often when I clear a base, there you go, you can see. I try to leave the small ads alive because most of the time they don't follow you, but if you leave them alive, when the cooldown for the bot drop is up, they're gonna call a bot drop. So it's something that I do very frequently, so that way if you move, if you go to a different objective, when the cooldown is up, they're gonna call a bot drop far away from you. Okay, so it's a way to get passive bot drops far away from you without doing anything. So here I know it's very good. I know that I can go to the next objective without fearing a bot drop. Ideally, I would want to use a laser for the big bases also, but here we have the tower and a big base next to each other, and I prioritize the tower over the big base for the laser. You can see that here I put the laser pretty close to the tower, but the laser, man, is just so inconsistent. Like, it's so good at clearing stuff. It's one of the best stratagems for the bots, but specifically for the tower, it's very inconsistent. Like, you can land it on the tower or next to it. Like, it's just doing circles around the tower, like, you know, like it's trying to avoid it or something. Okay, the escape pod is a pretty easy side objective. You usually don't get many enemies on it, but still I keep an eye for the enemies. I noticed a bot drop because, you know, I attacked the tower, and the bot drop is a strider, a factory strider, so, you know, pretty scary. But in my head, I know ideally you don't want to fight them if you don't have to, but it's so fun that in my head I'm like, okay, no matter what happens, we're gonna go kill it. And here, I don't know what happens. The tower just explodes for no reasons. My guess is somehow the dog did it, but he's nowhere close to the tower. So I don't know exactly how, but you know, just because I feel like it's a little bit of cheating, I decided to clear the tower anyway, because I would have to clear the tower. I would have had to clear the tower if it didn't happen. So again, like the first time, the first thing you want to do is to kill the miniguns. And when you're at medium range, you also want to be careful about the turret on the top. But here I'm close enough that it's not gonna shoot me. I killed the minigun, I'm close to it. Now the only thing I need to care about is the devastators. I see the first group that is spawned. I decide to take care of that right away. Sniper pretty good. It's a 2-shot to the body to kill them. Okay. And now there's no enemies around. It doesn't have minigun. It's basically dead. Look at that. It's so funny when they look at you like that. It's like they're completely harmless. They don't move and they just wait for you to shoot them. Okay, very cool. That was our second strider this game. The crossbow also pretty good at shooting the turrets. Because of the AoE, when there is a bunker or there is a turret, if you shoot towards it, it's gonna clear the behind the turret. Because it can be a bit difficult to shoot the exposed part of the robots behind the tower usually with a normal weapon, but with the crossbow it's pretty easy. So here I see a pretty nasty patrol. The Hulk is pretty far away, so I decide to take him out without a stun. Okay, works out pretty well. And there's no devastator in this patrol. Very unusual. In a Helldive, normally, it's very rare to see a patrol with mostly small ads. But it happens once in a while, I guess. Oh yeah, this is a defense mission. So with this no debuff, no modifiers. And today specifically, we get free rocket pods. So, you know, a little easier than a regular mission, I would say. But it, you know, it is what it is. I'll take it. So before the next objective, I know I'm most likely gonna get a bot drop because the cooldown is about to expire, which is fine. It's a pretty safe space to fight. There's not too many enemies anyway, and I don't see patrols. I don't see any patrols. I see a hell bomb. I don't want to get killed by it from a random stray bullet, so I decide to take it out myself. The regular strider can be a bit dangerous, so I kill them first. And I know there's a devastator in the back. Okay, whenever you see the rockets coming, you can either go take cover, or you can just dive to the side. And here there's a small ass that called for a ball drop, which is completely fine. I actually want that. I could have stopped him probably, but I actually want to get the ball drop now. There's no enemies around. It's a flat surface. It's the best space, the best spot to get a ball drop. And here, I mean, you can see. Unfortunately, I have a tank, so I have to take the tank out with the rocket pods. But look at the crossbow, how much it clears the berserkers. 6 berserkers killed at the same time with 3 shots basically. So pretty good. The rocket pods, by the way, if you're not using them, I know they suffer from consistency issues, but for the bots, I think they're pretty good. They were my go-to Eagle Strike for a while on the bots. They are really consistent for the tanks, and they're very consistent for the factories, which are 2 of the main things I use the Eagles for against the bots. Again, here I see a patrol. The Hawk is the first priority. I don't like that I have a patrol here because there's not much cover. The only cover I can find is this little wheel thing, or I don't know what it is. But the issue is that it's destructible. So I know this cover is not gonna last long, so I try to take out as many devastators before they inevitably blow it up. And there we go. So now I have to use the terminal as a cover, which is not ideal. But thankfully, since we have the stun nades and we have a tremor, they can't do anything. I mean, if you have a sniper and stun nades, very easy to take care of those devastators. Okay, so what do I have left? I think I have 2 large bases and I have 1 side objective. Yeah. For the big bases, I like to have a laser. It's not needed, but it makes it faster. And I think my laser came off cooldown. But the issue is, since we have 2 large bases back to back, I'm only gonna be able to use the laser for one of them, and it's gonna be on cooldown for the other one, which is okay. I don't need it, it just makes it easier. The crossbow is so good at clearing the bunkers. You shoot somewhere near the middle and they all die. The laser doing works, rocket pods clearing the remaining bases. Okay, I see that there is the base is not clear. There is 1 factory left. The big bases, they all have the same, there's 2 or 3 layouts. So once you know them, you know where the factories are gonna be. So here I know what the last factory is, so I go toward it. And I just decide to use an airstrike because the radius is bigger. So now the issue is I don't have a laser and I only have 1 eagle left for the big base. So I decide to put my eagle on cooldown. And here we had a bot drop, by the way, which is great because we're gonna move on to the next base. And by the time we get there, by the time the bot drops arrive, we're gonna be far away. So we basically skipped a bot drop for a little while. So yeah, we're not gonna have any laser for this base, and we have about a minute 30 cooldown for the eagles, which is fine because by the time I get there, the cooldown is most likely, it's gonna be mostly over, and it's gonna give me time to start clearing out the base before the eagle come back. The scout set bonus for the boss in solo is great. You can run pretty close to patrols or group of enemies and they won't attack you. Again, here you see Crossbow pretty good at clearing out bunkers and turrets. And the crossbow is, I'm pretty sure it has a pretty low sound profile, so you can shoot pretty close to other enemies and they won't see you, they won't detect you right away. So here my main concern is that turret, and we still don't have the eagle. But a quick trick for you: if you call a resupply, like a support weapon or a backpack, or any blue stratagem next to a factory, it's gonna destroy it as it lands. So if your eagles are on cooldown, it's one way to get rid of a factory. And here you can see that I'm very careful of when I use the crossbow, because as you can see, if I can flinch while I shoot it, there's a very good chance that I kill myself because the flinch make me shoot the ground. So that's, for me, the main drawback for the crossbow, is that, you know, not only is it awkward to use, but also, you know, you're gonna kill yourself a lot because you're gonna get flinched as you shoot. So you have to be very careful. Okay, we have 2 bases left. The cooldown for the bot drop should be over soon, so I know we gotta be pretty fast. You can see how hard it is to shoot at a one target from far away. I mean, I missed him twice when he was not moving. And they call a bot drop, so I know that I got the base. They call a bot drop, I need to get the hell out of here. There's a Hulk. Luckily I can kill it quickly. And there is a bunch of heavy devastators, so I need to stun them, which I do, and we also get tremors. So it's fantastic, good timing. I can safely get rid of those devastators and move on. Boom. The sniper feels really good. I would say out of all the super weapons, the sniper probably feels the best to me. The only thing I wish they would change is the scope that is not aligned properly. But when they fix this, I mean, the sniper is gonna be golden. I really love this weapon. Unfortunately, I didn't see the Thief artillery objective earlier, and I ran past it. So now not only do I have to go back there and wasting time doing so, but also the Thief artillery is one of the slowest side objective. So I'm wasting a lot of time here to get the full clear. I think I'm wasting probably 5 minutes entirely or more going there, because I have to go there, avoid the patrol, which I don't do a good job of. And once I get there, the Thief artillery takes forever to do. And because you're sitting in the same spot for a while, you're gonna get a ton of patrols coming in. It's unavoidable. You're always gonna get patrols. So I think this is the main reason why this game is so tight, so short on time. You'll see at the end, I get in the evac at the very last second, like, you know, as close as possible to the timer. And mostly it's because of the Thief artillery. It's such a long side objective, and I missed it the first time, so oh my god, yeah, here I see. So if you're not aware, so hold on, look how good the crossbow is. If you shoot, you know, in a group of ads, it's just gonna clear the whole thing. There you go, boom. Excellent weapon to clear out clusters of ads. So yeah, as I was saying, on the boss, there is a bug where at regular intervals, there's going to be a single small bot that goes to the middle of the map and stays there. So eventually, as the game goes on, and you could see here, you're gonna have a big cluster of small bots in the middle of the map just waiting. Okay, they're not part of a patrol, they're not part of an objective. Here I almost got ragdolled into a mine, very scary. I decided to just run because the ads are coming from all over. So yeah, for the bots, on any map, anything, if you go to the middle of the map, you're always gonna have a cluster of small bots, upwards of 40, 50. I've had times where there was 60 bots in the middle of the map, just waiting there, just stacked together in a very small radius. So if you shoot the crossbow in the middle of that map, you can sometimes get 50, 60 kills in 2 shots. It's a bug that's been there since day one. Okay, the Thief Tower. One of my least favorite objectives. Takes forever. You gotta carry those big explosives. It's very slow. Takes a while. You're always gonna lose some time here. So yeah. But unfortunately, you gotta do it if you want a full clear, so... And at this point, honestly, I mean, I'm sure everybody knows, but you can choose the order that you want the Thief artillery. Here I got a bot drop, pretty annoying. But here at this point, I just want the full clear. I really don't care what's in the Thief tower, I just want to get it done as soon as possible. And here you can see the crossbow again clears out all the small ads very quickly, so it just thins out the enemy group. My first priority, getting the Hulk, is getting dangerously close, so I decided to stun him to not risk anything. And as the game goes on, you're gonna get more and more patrols. I can definitely tell that now, compared to the beginning, the patrols are getting more and more frequent. So I know I need to hurry up, get this done. Even if there's ads, I need to just take out the dangerous ads and let the other ones just, you know, just investigate. Because I don't have time to clear anything and to clear everything. Just have to go. I can't stay here for too long. Especially because the main objective on this mission, probably one of the slowest main objective, takes a while. Even if there's no enemies, even if you're uninterrupted, it still takes a while. Again, here I can hear enemy from all around, so I just kill them quickly and I move on. I can't waste too much time here. I'm already getting close to the time. And already we just had a patrol on the bot drop, and already I can hear another patrol coming in. Luckily we get some tremors which shoot by me a few seconds. And I check my radar to see where they come from. I try to go as fast as possible. My goal is to finish before they engage, but I don't think that's going to be possible because they're getting pretty close. So I decide to send an airstrike as I keep doing the objective, just so I can save some time, basically. Stun the Hulk, because they're very scary and they can end your run just like that. And as I start the terminal, I gather the last shell. And here you can really tell I really don't care the order of the shell. Ideally, if you're in a group or if you have time, just try to put the better shells first and the worst after. But here I really don't have time, I just want to go. I get stuck in the map. And here I see I don't have any airstrike anymore. Rocket pods is pretty useless against the Devastators. So I just put them on cooldown for the main objective. You really have to peek very fast against the heavy, otherwise you'll get flinched instantly. And the stun nades, again, making it a lot easier. Okay. And I quickly try to finish the thief. Takes a long time. We've been at it for probably 5 minutes now. As soon as it's done, I leave. Don't want to spend any more time here. I have to book it. By the time I get to the main objective, I'm gonna have 5 minutes left, I think. Around 5 minutes, maybe less. And unfortunately, the cooldown for the bot drops is about to reset as I get to the main objective. I was hoping that one of the bots that was still alive would see me and would call a bot drop at my at the old location, but that's not the case. and I don't have time to stop to bet a bot drop. I have to go. There's not much time left. So I decide to go. I know I have a laser left, so I know I can use the laser for the bot drop to make it a bit safer. And in those bases, it's pretty often that you're gonna have a walker, a strider, but here we don't have one. It's just a Hulk base.
Have a taste of democracy.
And of course we get a bot drop, so I decide to use my laser on this bot drop just to be a bit safer. But this group of ads will eat the crossbow first. There we go. Okay. So I let my laser do this work. And unfortunately, because this is the end of the game, the patrol is the amount of patrol is increased. And as I do this, as I get the bot drop, I got another patrol coming from behind. But I don't have time to waste, so you know I take them out as they come out. But I don't want to prolong the fight. So I start the computer, I start the terminal, even though the ads are not dead. Here, almost dead. The heavy devastators, super scary. I mean, they are, when you're up close, they are very scary. Okay. Every time I have a small window of opportunity, I want to do the terminal. Here I can't. There is heavy devastators. I just can't do the terminal. Okay, one shot for this one. Very good. Okay, alright. We can finally get started. We have less than 4 minutes left for the 30 scientists or the 30 civilians. Yeah, citizens. So it's gonna be tight, especially if we get enemies. The sniper can break the fences, makes it a little bit faster, makes the trip a little faster if you don't have to go up the ramp. And here I can hear another patrol coming from the same side. So I'm not super happy about it, because I have to waste even more time getting rid of them. And they kill the citizen, meaning I have to do an extra door, which is super annoying. The sniper though is super good at killing those devastators. Constantly checking my radar to see if there's ads coming. And here with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left, I know I'm gonna most likely finish the objective, but in my head I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna have time to extract, especially because I see yet another patrol coming in. I decide to throw an airstrike and to stun them, to try to kill as many as possible with the airstrike. I get a good amount. I get 3 devastators with the airstrike, which honestly is pretty good. Saved me quite a bit of time. And here I have to be very careful. I have 2 minutes left. The reset, the cooldown reset for the reinforcement is up. It's reset. So I know if I have another patrol, there's a good chance they call a bot drop. And you don't have to say it twice. It's again another patrol coming in already from the same location. But I have to keep moving. I have to press those buttons. So I call an airstrike again. I have 1 minute 30 left, so you know, might as well use my eagles, my stratagems now. This airstrike doesn't seem to get anyone. I mistimed it a little bit, and I have to take them out manually. And unfortunately, they do call a bot drop. Although I'd rather have the bot drop now than in a minute, because at least I have my stratagems for this one. So I decided to call an airstrike to clear out the bot drop. And I can see 2 tanks and a Hulk. Luckily I'm able to take the Hulk pretty quickly with a sniper. And luckily we have the rocket pods on this map for free. which rocket pods are very good for the tank. There's 2 tanks, I have 3 rocket pods left. I'm very confident that I'm gonna be able to take them out. Got very lucky here. And here, because I don't have time to wait to see if the rocket pods gets the tank, I listen for a second explosion, which, you know, it just happened. So I know the first tank is dead, and the second tank is popping up just now. So again, rocket pod, boom. I'm gonna wait for it. Boom. Super consistent. Very good. And here I have 3 seconds left. 2, 1, and no more stratagems. I have 4 citizens left that I need to call. So I'm gonna start heading towards the extract. And on the way, I'm gonna push the button for the last door. I don't see any enemies around, so I'm very confident that, you know, they should be able to make it. But I have less than 2 minutes to cross quite a bit of distance. So I'm not sure I'm gonna make it just yet. My only chance is I'm trying to look at the map to find cluster of enemies, because I want to get hit by an enemy to be able to heal myself and get my stamina back. Here I get a tremor. I'm like, okay, really? No, it's not the time for tremors. We are still very far away to cross that in a minute. Here, luckily, I see a group of 3 small bots, so I'm hoping they hit me without killing me, which they do, and that's actually very good. They hit me a first time, I heal, and then they hit me again, so I know I'm gonna be able to heal myself again when I'm out of stamina. So that's actually the best case scenario. Here I really don't have time to avoid the enemies. I have to run straight, otherwise I won't be able to make it. And I checked the map to see that there isn't anything scary in front of me. So even though I don't want to avoid the small ads, if there is a tank or if there is a Hulk or anything very scary, I'm still gonna have to avoid them. I don't have time to fight anything right now. And here, with 20 seconds left and all my stamina, I know I'm gonna make it. When the time runs out, it still takes 5 or 6 seconds for the shuttle to land, and then you have 20 seconds to board the shuttle. So when the timer runs out, actually you still have about 25 seconds to get in. So you know, you got time. And you can see, yeah, it takes about 10 seconds for the shuttle to land. Once I get there, it's still not on the ground, so I'm good. Okay, and there we go. Full clear with the crossbow. You see that I barely use my crossbow. To be honest though, that's how I use the sniper on the boss in most of my missions. I use it as a primary weapon, so it doesn't have to do anything with the crossbow. That's just the way I play against the bots. But with this playstyle, the crossbow isn't bad. It's pretty good at killing the small ads, the small enemies, and the rest I can use the sniper for the devastators. The only thing I think they should change, otherwise I won't be able to use this weapon reliably, is the fact that it one-shots. It one-shots you even if you have heavy armor, if you shoot towards the ground. And because the flinch makes you aim towards the ground, I can't tell you the amount of time that I killed myself trying to shoot at the bots, and then I get flinched, then I shoot the ground. It's just ridiculous. I think they should change that. Other than that, if that's the only thing they change, I think the weapon is pretty good. It's obviously not the best weapon against the bots, but I think it's a solid B or A- weapon for the bots. So that's it. Let me know what you think of the weapon and of the gameplay, and I'll see you guys next time.